Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one single, absolutely pivotal chapter from the Bibliomancers series. We are going to break down every key event and character beat in Chapter 146.
That's right, we're focusing entirely on Chapter 146, Danger, Administer. And let me tell you, you're gonna want to buckle up for this one. We're talking cross-world medical teams, life-or-death emergencies, and a massive reveal about a very powerful new character.
So here's how it's going to go down. We'll start with how our team of healers gets together, then we'll walk through the 3 medical crises they face. After that, we get to see an amazing new talent emerge, and we'll wrap it all up with Rose's brilliant plan for connecting these worlds for good.
All right, so our story kicks off with our protagonist, Rose, doing what she does best, playing matchmaker. She introduces Arjun Votri, who's a healer that uses pure magic, to Dr. Lottie Lee, a super-skilled physician from another world who's now in charge of a brand new hospital.
So boom, right away, we meet the whole crew for this chapter. You've got Rose, the one making it all happen, Lottie, the modern medical genius, Arjun, the pure magic healer, and Busy, who actually gets them all in the same room. You can just feel this is going to be a fascinating mashup of science and sorcery.
And here we get to the core problem of the chapter. Lottie's a bit frustrated, and honestly, can you blame her? Rose, in her usual go big or go home style, built her this absolutely perfect, state-of-the-art hospital in a town that Rose had already made magically healthy. So Lottie has all the best gear and 0 patience. This story from Lottie just perfectly sums up the kind of helpful chaos that Rose creates. Lottie's talking about an emergency where she had to save a dying gnome. So what did Rose do? Oh, just pause time, jumped across worlds, and then turned the gnome into a human just so Lottie could operate on him. It's wild, but it really shows you Rose's power, and it makes the mission crystal clear. They need to find some real patients.
So, how do you find patients in a town with no sickness? Well, if you're Rose, you don't just put up a flyer. Nah, you just reach out telepathically to your friend Juliet, who happens to live in a completely different world.
And just like that, they have a plan. Rose gets a tip that old MacDonald has a nasty cold. Lottie's been itching to test her new magical bakes, so she grabs her bag. And before you know it, Rose jumps the whole team, and poof, they're standing in a barn in another dimension. Talk about a house call.
So this is Lottie's first field test. The storm grain bread? Doesn't work. He's still coughing. The crystal rye? Nope, still sneezing. It's only when she gets the idea to combine them into one bread that it finally works. His cold is cured instantly. Okay, 1 success in the bag.
But the day is far from over. Just as they're celebrating, a local doctor named Daniel Denton shows up. He heard some powerful healers were in town, and he's got 2 patients with problems that are way more serious than a cold, cases he couldn't fix himself. Rose jumps them over to see Farmer Jones, whose leg was totally crushed by an ox. Lottie's storm grain bread works like a charm, healing the shattered bones in seconds. Amazing. But the second case, Mrs. Amon's hernia, well, that's a different story. This time, none of Lottie's magical breads do anything at all.
This is where Arjun steps up to the plate. He places his hands on Mrs. Imon and just pours pure magic into her. You can tell it's taking a huge toll on him. He's sweating as the hernia visibly shrinks. But it comes at a price. He only manages to partially heal her before he's completely exhausted. He's done for the day and can't finish the job.
So Mrs. Amon is only partially cured, and their veteran healer is totally tapped out. What do? Well, Rose has another one of her brilliant ideas. She decides to go get Sparky's other apprentice, a young girl named Opal, to see if she can possibly help. Rose finds Opal in the library and asks for a quick status update. Opal confirms she's got 87% of her magic left over from a lesson. That's more than enough to give this a try.
Before they leave, Rose has to get permission from Opal's instructor, Draco the dragon. He agrees, but he gives her a very stern warning. Do not let Opal's magic drop below 40%. This just raises the stakes immediately. There's real danger here if Opal pushes herself too hard.
And what happens next is just incredible. Arjun explains his process, and Opal gives it a shot. But her magic is completely different. It flows from her forehead, not her hands. She's calm, she's focused, and after just a few minutes, she stops. Mrs. Amon is completely cured. The hernia is totally gone.
When Rose asks Opal how she knew when to stop, she just says she knew the patient was healed. And her final magic level? 48%, safely above Draco's limit. This is more than just a successful healing. It's a game changer. We've just seen the discovery of a new, intuitive, and incredibly powerful kind of healing.
So, with all the patients treated, you'd think Rose would take a breather. But nope, her mind immediately switches from crisis management to long-term infrastructure. She's already thinking, how can Dr. Denton and Dr. Lottie work together in the future when they're in different worlds?
And in a whirlwind of activity, Rose just builds a solution from scratch. She gets magical paper for instant messaging, she grabs an unactivated portal painting, has Opal power it up with her magic, and then gives the whole system to Dr. Denton. He tests it right there on the spot and is instantly transported to Lottie's clinic, a permanent emergency link between two worlds, created in minutes.
And the chapter ends with this moment that is pure Rose. She remembers her mentor, Sparky, told her not to start any new civic projects. So she mentally reframes her entire day of world hopping, healing emergencies, and building magical portals as simply finishing an existing project. It's the perfect, witty loophole that just defines her character and wraps up one truly incredible day.